Please go ahead. Sorry very much.
So shall we start?
Akanksha, yeah, please.
Okay.
Okay, before I address your question, so let me start by thanking. So it's truly a pleasure to be part of this August gathering. And I would love to commend the organizers for bringing together such a diverse and panel of experts from around the world. The breadth perspectives represented here promises a rich and meaningful dialogue on issues that are vital for our shared future. And a special note of thanks to Dr. Malik for his gracious invitation and for efforts in making this important conference a possibility. Now, coming back to your question, as someone shaped by the natural beauty, cultural resilience of Jammu and Kashmir, and now working in dynamic economies of Middle East, where green finance is sustainable tourism, it means creating real values, lasting values, both for both people and nature. And personally, for me, it's also about channelizing of financial resources responsible for innovation so that tourism grows in a way that protects the fragile environment while honoring local communities and create real opportunities for the next generations in a region like mine where pristine landscape, I'm sure the background you would have all seen, are central to the identity and livelihood, but also these are vulnerable to misuse. So green finance gives us chance to invest in tourism models that are environmentally sound, economically inclusive. This is not just the developmental goal, but a necessity for global economic resilience, because only by linking prosperity with sustainability can we secure a fair and prosperous future for all.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. So it is very well explained about that nowadays the tourism, or if we talk about the development, because the development is not the prioritizing, we are only focusing towards the sustainable development, and that too, the need of the world. So moving to the professor, moving to the Dr. Laeeq Razzak sir. Uh, so as you belong to the Europe, so can you give your European perspective that how can a sustainable tourism models be replicated in emerging economics, and at the same point need to ensure the financial viability?
Okay, so thank you so much, first of all. And here I just would like to do small continuation of Dr. Bilal comment, okay, in terms of local communities, okay. So if we really want to understand that's what particularly going on in the European market. So as per my experience, without the contribution of local community and without the awareness of local communities, okay, you cannot apply any kind of sustainable development in this area. Okay, so we really need to understand that what is the perspective and what is the requirement of local communities first. Okay, so in order to understand what is the requirement and what is the perspective of the local communities, we really need to understand the geography first. Okay, meaning of geography, what is the contribution of particular geography in the tourism sector? So let me just give you the small example. For example, Malta, for example, Spain, for example, Portugal, for example, Italy, for example, Balkan region, for example, Turkish some region. So there is a strong contribution of local communities in the tourism sector. Now, second question, how we can develop the sustainable tourism with the help of green finance. So here the biggest and I would say the most favorable comment is public private partnerships. So government cannot do anything solely. Private journal people, they cannot do anything solely. They need to work together. They need to create the synergy in order to give the maximum benefit. Now, when you're speaking about the synergies, when you're speaking about the collaboration, So we have the biggest problem right now, which we are facing in the European market in terms of, I would say, in terms of standards, like on which standards they are going to do the partnership. Then after the standards, what is the visibility and what is the output of those partnership? So this is also the biggest reason, because if we will just look on the standards, if we will just look on the regulations, we are still in the phase of making those regulations. And I can give you the small practical example. For example, ESG standards, ESG reporting standard, these are applicable in European Union at the moment. But still, private organization, they really don't know how to convert their business model into ESG models. This is still in progress. This is still phase is going on. We are really don't know. And this is also one of the most biggest problem in the Polish market. We really don't know how to do this. So we are in the phase of developing this model. And these are small challenges. And now there is a small question arises in terms of financial visibility, because we don't have the applicable standards. So we are facing the problem in terms of financial visibility. What is the meaning of financial visibility? Like how much money with the help of public-private partnership invested in the tourism sector, and how much gain we already received. So this is small challenge. We are unable to verify the impact. We are unable to identify the changes. And I particularly believe if we will just go with the public-private partnership, I can give you the two small examples, the life examples. The area where I am teaching, it is a Sicilian region of the Poland where WSB University is located. I would say 30 years back, it is one of the most highly polluted region
Okay.
of Poland due to the mining industry. And right now, they already shift all the mining industry from outside of this region. And now it is getting more sustainable. But how they did it? They did it with the help of local contribution. And then the second thing is coming that when the private communities, local communities, they are impacting, they are applying sustainable tourism mechanism. So they really need to do something from their inside. So yes. So without public-private partnership, we cannot fully apply sustainable tourism model, and we cannot even figure out what is the effectiveness of green finance, in especially in tourism sector. This is my
Okay.
comment.
Yeah. So you very well mentioned about that the local community had played a very vital role. If you talk about either the sustainable tourism and all, you had also mentioned about the public-private partnership and for those ESG standard model that the companies are following, and you had given an example of the mining industries also. So just one question related to this: do you believe that for the private industries, is it feasible to go for those ESG models? If you talk about the complete sustainable model only for the private, or it's always need a collaboration with the public only?
Okay, so here is already answer in your question. At the global level, we are unable to make the standard ESG model. Now,
Okay.
question arises, why we are unable to make global standards of ESG implication. So one of the biggest problem at the international global level, I would say, is the data.
Yes.
We really don't have the exact data. Now, question arises, the developed countries, they already have some sort of data, but what about the developing countries? So if we will just look, like I always give the small example, let me just give a very quick small example. Bangladesh, Pakistan, India, almost 30% world population. is living in those three countries. 30% of the world population in living in those countries. So a question arises, do we really have the data? No, we don't have the exact data. If we don't have the exact data, we cannot make the standard. And then, for example, if we are making the standards, then what about the seriousness of the international community? This is also the biggest problem. The core life example from the industry, uh, because I'm working in the financial sector, so all of you will easily understand. There is a 8 billion population of the world, and currently only approximately 3 billions to 3.5 billion people of the world exist in the financial sector. Means they hold some kind of bank accounts, they hold some kind of their accounts around the world. So we have approximately 35% to 40% of the world population in terms of data. And now second question arises, can we really rely on that data? No, we cannot rely on that data, because this data is injected in the system long time ago. This data is not even getting updated. And I always give examples to my students. I am almost 39 years old, but in my few banks, my occupation is still written as like a student. So just imagine, my data is not even updated in a lot of financial sectors. So how we can predict the models, how we can journalize the standard if we really don't have the relevant data? So, and that is one of the most biggest problem for the artificial intelligence, when we want to apply it in our core business models, because our data is not up to date. So how our AI models are going to work? So that's my small comment, that we cannot apply a standardized ESG model around the globe because we don't have standards, we don't have the data, and every country, they have different, I would say, different perspective. Some
Yes.
countries, they're not even just yesterday I was watching a small documentary that right now people in the Malta, they are really very much angry with the government. Reason: high flow of tourists and high flow of, I would say, trash over there, because they are seeing trash everywhere. So just imagine what's going on, because we don't have the standard because lack of data.
Yeah, exactly. You had said very rightly that the data is the basic necessity to upgrade our standards so that so that either the private or either the public companies will, convert their models to those ESG standards that we are following. Exactly. Now moving to towards Professor Azil. So continue towards the tourism only, ma'am. Can you please elaborate how can the sustainable tourism help to preserve local culture and biodiversity while still, focusing towards the main goal of the economic growth only?
Thank you very much. First of all, greeting everyone. I would like to sincere thank to entire organizing committee for the opportunity to be part of these inspiring events. And it's a great honor to be here among such esteemed speakers and participants. And also, I would like to special thanks to Dr. Malik. In today's world, the rapid growth of tourism brings certain risks along with it. Excessive resource consumption, environmental pollution, and the degradation of natural and cultural heritage are some of the problems that unplanned tourism can create. As a solution to these challenges, the concept of sustainable tourism, which simultaneously considers economic, environmental, and cultural dimensions, has been adopted. Sustainable tourism is a development approach that supports employment and economic growth while preserving natural and cultural heritage and avoiding harm to diversity. biodiversity. I would like to continue by giving example from my own country, Turkey. Turkey is home to rich cultural heritage sites with thousands of years of history. Therefore, while preserving local culture, it's also crucial to benefit economically from this heritage through tourism. The tourism sector in Turkey is being developed within the framework of sustainable tourism, ensuring that biodiversity and natural heritage are not compromised. Um, Cappadocia, for instance, with its Ferni chimney underground cities, Göreme and its surrounding with historical rock-cut churches, hosts a unique historical character. This area has been on the UNESCO World Heritage List since 1985 and has been managed with the protection use balance approach. In Cappadocia, historical rock churches are restored and construction around the fairy chimney is strictly controlled through rigorous regulations. For this reason, tourism planning in Cappadocia is carrying out with the goal of transmitting cultural heritage to future generations without causing damage. Measures such as limiting the number of tourists in sensitive zones, organizing walking routes, and imposing strict bans on new construction around the fairy chimneys and rock churches are applied. Also, hot air ballooning, the most well-known tourist activity in the Cappadocia, is also managed in line with sustainable principles. Balloon launch sites are determined based on annual ecological impact assessments, and the number of flights is limited daily. Another example is Safranbolu, located in the province of Karabük, and Safranbolu is a city on the UNESCO Heritage List too, that has preserved Ottoman era architecture. The city attracts tourists through its historical mansions, bazaars, and traditional lifestyle, with local authorities operate according to sustainable tourism principles. Cultural events such as traditional fairs and handicraft festivals and restoration projects in Safranbolu integrate tourism with the preservation of cultural heritage. Also, Turkey is situated at the intersection of three different climate zones, has extremely rich biodiversity, forests, highlands, plateaus, wetlands, coastlines, and steppes has unique flora and fauna, while also offering strong tourism potential. The Eastern Black Sea region is one of the most prominent areas in Turkey when it comes to sustainable tourism and biodiversity. The region's unique nature highlands, forests and rivers provide natural beauty with high tourism attraction. Today, the future of tourism in the Eastern Black Sea region is shaped around green transformation efforts and compliance with sustainable tourism principles. For example, under the programs carried out the Eastern Black Sea Development Agency, tourism business receive support in areas such as energy and water efficiency, waste management, and carbon footprint reduction. Thus, tourism enterprise in the Black Sea region both protect nature by adopting environmentally friendly practices and create long-term economic value. So, sustainable tourism is a model of growth that does not jeopardize our future for the sake of short-term gains. It's an approach that meets today's needs while safeguarding the heritage of tomorrow, and therefore must be strengthened and expanded also. Thank you.
Yeah, Ma'am has very well mentioned that we need a mixed approach for, promoting the tourism alongside with we should take care for the economic stability, because we need to take care of our, the cultural heritage or a local diversity. But yes, to be in a very managed way so that we are able to reduce the carbon footprints, or we are able to preserve the, our culture, our heritage by organizing, lot of traditional fair or a fair, so that we are able to promote our culture, and in the same hand we are able to earn, the financial from those perspective also. So moving towards to Dr. Viana, as ma'am you are into the tourism industry only, so ma'am can you just please elaborate how do the global event and tourism academics contribute to shaping environmental responsible tourism professionals?
Yes, thank you. So as we notice nowadays, we have a plenty of global event, and the Tourism Academy, of course, they are playing a huge role when it's come, for example, to sustainability. So for example, nowadays we'll be able to see that even when we are going to lecture, for example, our student, we are involving the course of sustainability, but not only about the course and the lecture, but about the practice, which is very important. So for example, when you see sometimes some university, they put, for example, about the recycling. So the student in this case, they are involving at the same time when it's come, for example, to sustainability. Plus add to it, for example, nowadays we will be able to see that we have a plenty of institutions nowadays. They play a role like a type of the link between academia and at the same time between the industry and policymaker. So like that, they will be able to offer some solution in order to inform more about sustainability strategy and practice. So through this type of collaboration and through building this link, this is going to help more. It will be more beyond the research and the policy engagement. So here we'll be able to see that we have like a type of environmental ethics among the student, not only about the professional and between the academic and the community, but at the same time, nowadays we'll be able to see it start among the student, and later on they will be able to practice. Like nowadays we'll be able to see that plenty of people nowadays, especially when it's come to some generation, when they want to purchase, for example, or they want, for example, to book any hotel. So they have nowadays the knowledge. They have, for example, more about what type of hotel, what type of accommodation. So automatically they are going to go to a type of eco-friendly, for example, hotel. And like that, they are going to feel that are playing a role in order to protect at the same time the environment. So nowadays, what we can notice through this global academic, they will be able to more serve as catalyst between the transformation, and at the same time, they are ensuring that tourism and events, they are going to involve more toward the long-term sustainability, resilience, and environmental steward. And just I want to give some example, like we have nowadays, like what we call it, Griffith Institute for Tourism in Australia. They integrate the sustainability into their curriculum and research at the same time. Plus, we have in UK as well, the University of Surrey at the same time through their School of Hospitality. When it's come to Malta, nowadays we see, for example, some higher education, they are doing this course related to sustainability to give the knowledge more, and at the same time they need to practice at the same time the sustainability in tourism and hospitality. Thank you.
Okay, so ma'am, you had very well mentioned that if we want to, achieve our sustainable goals or sustainable targets, so we should integrate, about those industry and academic integration, because the students are, the future maker of any of the countries. So if we are able to integrate those, the sustainable goals, or the, the concern about the
Best issue.
sustainability to the students, so that will definitely help in a long-term achievements of goal. Okay, so moving towards Dr. Volha. So, ma'am, how, according to you, how can a government and international organizations collaborate to create financial ecosystem that supports sustainable tourism venture?
Thank you. Thank you, dear colleagues. I'm so happy to be today with you. Thank you for organizing that event. If we're talking about Belarusian experience related to how our government and international organizations collaborate on this particular issue, on creating financial ecosystems, I would like you to take a look at a few directions that are pretty much used in order to achieve the goals. The first one is they create the risking instruments, like what particular instruments do we have here? A guarantee fund, actually not only one, we have a lot of them, where the governmental part is assumed and international bodies would like to add a little bit of their financial resources, and these sustainable tourism projects are going to get financial support from that fund. It is not really easy to get financial support from it, but I think that this direction is going to be developed in the future. And the second point I would like to mention here is first loss capital. It's when the equity for startups in tourism or grants that they are provided for the companies that are involved in the process, especially the funds are formed by the private investors. It's not really a governmental thing, but the government can take part in this as well. Besides that, we work very hard on harmonizing standards and definitions. What kind of challenge do we have? As I am involved in international financial reporting standards and their implementation in our financial environment, and I see that a major challenge for investors coming to this area in our region is the lack of that kind of connection. So we have our local standards. That's why this is going to be a little bit difficult for them to analyze the financial results of their investments. So international organizations play a crucial role here in this development, and that sustainable tourism, let's call it taxonomy, is going to be created, and I truly believe that we are moving on in this direction. So what kind of green concepts we have here? What kind of green projects we need to consider if we're talking about sustainable tourism? Like which projects are green, which are not really, and sustainable. This particular concept is not really clear enough when we are talking about developing those activities. So it requires a little bit of harmonizing strategies. Then the local capacity, of course, and if we're talking about a gap between the idea itself and the project when it is already implemented, the international organizations, they can provide, and they actually do, different types of services like technical assistance, grant funding, and the local entrepreneurs and small and medium enterprises that are involved in this area, they actually develop their business plans and financial models. Do we have a lot of that kind of collaborations? Definitely not, and we would like to enhance the amount of them in the future. And of course, one direction that I cannot forget about is transferring and creating that kind of market linkages. International organizations, they could create that kind of information support, and there are several programs in Belarus as well that try to implement those best practices. A little bit postponing, a little bit delaying, but the progress is 100% certain. And that kind of initiatives, they help us to connect governments with different regions and our tourism organizations with representatives from different regions. And this kind of peer-to-peer learning process is 100% mandatory to implement and to enhance. And that kind of congress, that kind of conference, that kind of conversations that we have today, they actually play a crucial role for changing the ideas, to updating our ideas, and that's why sustainable tourism, I really hope that is going to move on with the ideas that we can discuss here. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, ma'am. Yes, exactly. If we talk about sustainable is now no more a buzz, but actually it is a mandate for each and every country to go for a sustainable. And yes, international organization is, playing a very crucial role in this by providing the funding, by providing the awareness, and more or less supporting the companies for the technical assistance and the consultancy. But yes, that to enhance more so that we are able to spread it and able to achieve our global targets. Yes, so moving towards the Dr. Bilal, sir. So as you're talking about those funding and all, so my next question is related to those incentives and all. So, sir, according to you, what is the role do the policy incentives and a green bond play in motivating private investors towards eco-friendly tourism projects? So, do we are able to attract the private investors with the help of these green bonds or the policy incentives that we are providing to them? Sir, you're on mute.
Well, Akanksha, look, what's happening at a global level, global scenario, if we look at. So, these policy initiatives like tax breaks, grants, need to be streamlined. Permitting processes has to be there. That guarantees minimum purchase agreements that can shift the risk return profile in favor of green tourism initiatives. So that's what is needed. And green bonds, meanwhile, they serve as transparent, credible financial vehicles that channels investment directly into the projects with declared environmental objectives. Like, for example, solar-powered resorts, so fundings for that, biodiversity conservation linked ecotourisms. Similarly, green mobility networks. So those are the things that can be looked at where there are the clear-cut declared environmental objectives. These tools, what will happen is they will provide much needed scale, then that will also provide the accountability. And then in turn, what it does is that it provides the signaling long-term policy commitments for both from the government and public private as well. So both incentives and green bonds need to tap and grow pool of ESG conscious capital. So enabling private investors to align and financial returns with the measurable sustainable impacts. That's what I feel that is needed to be done.
Okay, exactly. I guess those policy incentives need to be more streamlined so that,
True.
yes, exactly. So that even we are able to invite more private ownership and they even, able to implement those in their models. Okay.
Absolutely.
Yeah, thank you, sir. My next question to Dr. Razzak, sir. As we had discussed towards the financial boon, but recently in our discussion, we had focused towards the academic industry collaboration. So, my next question related to the academic industry collaboration. So, sir, in your view, how can those academic and industry collaboration, they promote research-driven innovation and a green finance and sustainable tourism? Because yeah, we can say that today the theme of our conference is those sustainable and a green finance. So what's your viewpoint in that?
Thank you so much. So here I would like to just give the practical life example, okay, especially from the industry. Um, Last year, we have submit a small project to the European Union, and especially this project for funded for the central region of Turkey, where there is a maybe my colleague, Madam Isil, she will agree with me. There is a one small university located in the central region of Turkey named as Manzur University. So we have submitted our project in terms of agro-based tourism, and what we have what is the model of our project, because this central part of the Turkey is enriched with agriculture, But on the other hand, they have a lot of tourists, and this region is also facing a lot of harsh climate during the winter season, and also harsh climate during the summer period. So what we have introduced, we have just introduced the new technologies for heating system, new technologies for the heating system over there, which can provide heating system during the winter and cooled system during the summer season with the use of renewable energy. So how we implement that, we just analyze the latest technologies from the industries, from the Europe, and we did cost benefit analysis for specially for technically for the region where this Manzoor University is located. And we, with our local researchers, local engineers, we just try to change the technologies available in the Europe, especially with the perspective of those regions, like cost benefit energies models. So we implement it, we just prepare those technologies, and we apply funding to the European Union that this is our model, and we would like to practically launch this kind of product in this region because of agro-tourism, because of agriculture sector and agro-tourism. So our this project is under review. So this is one of the most best example. We really need to understand first what is the requirement of local community, what is the contribution of local community in terms of tourism, and how many people livelihood attached with the tourism. And then we need to figure out what are the barriers for implementation of sustainable tourism, how we can change it. Definitely, we cannot change it immediately. It is a long-term process. We need to figure out what are the local level, ground level of challenges. So let's suppose in our project, the local level, ground level project was the heating system. Heating system was based on the fossil fuels, and we want to convert into the low cost energy system so that it can be benefit for the local community and they can save a lot of money. So yes, academics can give their minds, academic can give their technical assistance, academicians can give they can just highlight the entire model. Like this region is enriched with tourism, that's how we can apply over here. So that's how, with the help of academic mind, we can enhance this collaboration. And here I just, in my comment, I just would like to add small thing. I was in one panel discussion, and one of the most good scientists, he just point out small comment, and he said like this: if we think like this, that the gold and diamond and rare earth metal are so much good and rare resources on the earth. So he said like this, no, it is wrong. One of the most rare resource on the earth are our trees, because only trees exist in this world. We not see trees anywhere in entire universe. We can find gold reserves, we can find diamond reserves, because these are the composition of carbon all around the universe. But only trees we can find on our earth. So it is one of the most rare resource. So we really need to protect it.
Yeah, thank you. So you very well explain about, and I guess your agro-based tourism project will definitely, going to be a buzz in the market once it
Let's
comes.
hope.
Yes,
We are waiting. Let's
yes,
hope.
because it is a collaboration. You had mentioned about the European Union, the industries, the university, and the researchers. So it is a complete integration and collaboration of, the all bright minds. So definitely it will be a success one. Yeah. So So my next question to Professor Isil. So, ma'am, as you had earlier mentioned about the local tourism, or you had earlier discussed about the culture and biodiversity. So, according to you, what strategies can a policy makers adopt to ensure those gender inclusivity and community participation in sustainable tourism development?
Thank you. It's really important question. But first of all, I would like to thank to Dr. Razzak. I'm really happy to hear this project from him. And so the success of sustainable tourism depends not only on environmental protection policies, but also on social inclusion, especially gender equality and the participation of local communities in decision-making process. Policies that strengthen women's participation in tourism economy play a crucial role in achieving this goal, I think. I would like to offer a few examples from Turkey again. In the village of Kuyucak in Sparta, the Lavender Sand Village project was launched with the aim of generating income for the local community. As part of the project, the Lavender Sand Village Women Entrepreneurs Cooperatives, composed entirely of women, was established. And women in the region received training on cooperative management, rural tourism, souvenir production, and destination promotion. Another example is a 100% Misha project carried out the Misi village in Bursa. Led by women, this initiative revitalized the traditional silk cocoon craft and revived rural tourism in the village. Through the project, 44 women received tourism training and 25 women were employed in local tourism enterprises. So local communities should be included in every stage of tourism activities, from planning to implementation. And village cooperatives, local guiding associations, and local organizations should be identified not as volunteer participants, but I think as mandatory stakeholders. Women and young people in particular should be encouraged to integrate both tangible and intangible cultural heritage, such as local handicrafts, gastronomy, and the traditional rituals into tourism activities. The success of sustainable tourism depends on ensuring that the process is inclusive for all stakeholders. Empowering women and involving local communities in decision making not only advances social justice and equal opportunities, but also generates economic benefits such as poverty reduction, increased local income, and more equitable community-based development. Thank you.
Okay, exactly, ma'am. If you talk about those local community and tourism, I can say these are two sides of a same coin, because if we want to promote the tourism, definitely we should take care for the local community. So without local community, we are not able to contribute to the tourism, and that too we are not able to communicate, the coordinate towards the economic growth also. Yes. So my next question to Viana, ma'am. So, ma'am, as you already mentioned about the tourism academic contribution, so according to you, what are the some innovative capacity building or the training initiative that can be used? I guess Viana, ma'am, has left because of some network issue. Okay, so we continue with the discussion only. Um, moving to moving to the Volha, ma'am. Ma'am, you had already mentioned about the government and the international organization collaboration. So, in continuation with this question only, can you throw a light on the metrics or indicators would you recommend for measuring the success of the Green Finance Initiative in the tourism sectors? Just your perspective on this.
Thank you, Dr. Akanksha. Thank you so much. I would like to be very short because the metrics are super crucial. What we can measure, we can manage, right? We know this saying. And what is the framework that I would like you to take a look at? The first one is direct impact metrics like environmental issues, socioeconomic, financial, operational, right? So just if we're talking about environmental metrics that are really crucial to take care of, they are related to the carbon footprint, they are related to the resource management, they are related to the biodiversity, land use, right? So all those environmental metrics are pretty well known. If we're talking about social economic indicators, quality employment, definitely local economic linkages, community benefits, if we're talking about local projects, if international one, then it's going to be a little bit expanded. The most important thing if we are talking about financial support, if we are talking about prosperity of that or this tourism, let's say, area, from the very beginning, of course, it is financial viability. And we need to pay much attention to that. Why? The question should arise here, is the business profitable and resilient? Is it able to generate that kind of positive impact that we are looking for here? And market demand, of course, one thing that is really crucial because it helps us to create that kind of environment and to expand the horizons here. The first layer that I mentioned of indicators and parameters is well known, pretty achievable, and we have all the metrics and indicators in our day-to-day practice in order to analyze that. But if we're talking about the entire success of the initiative itself, I would like us to take a look at system level indicators. Which group of indicators is better to start with? The traditional one that we deal with on a regular basis, or the system level indicators that are urgent and relevant as well, it's up to us. But I highly recommend to take a look at the parameters involved in the group of capital mobilization. The amount of private capital leveraged for this or that particular project, the amount of state-owned capital, the amount of international financial cash flows that we attracted, that shows the effectiveness or the level of how highly the ecosystem, the sustainable development ecosystem, how it is created, how it is organized, and how it is able or capable to perform. That's point number one. The next one is very important. I think it's pipeline development and all the indicators that we can arrange here. It's related to the projects indicating a healthy and growing market. What do we have? What kind of sustainable tourism projects we are ready to implement? What is our dynamics? What is the growth rate or something? So we need to take a look at the historical perspective at this particular issue as well. And of course, if we're talking about the sustainable development in tourism, we cannot deny the fact that policy influence should be can be and should be considered as well. What about the projects? Are they about to lead to the adoption of new national standards and regulations? Are they about to keep the sustainability in tourism finance? It is for a long-term period of time. Yes, this is for strategic planning mostly. But if we combine that kind of approaches, like project-specific environmental, social, economic, financial, operational metrics, and the metrics that show us the effectiveness of the entire network, of the entire system, it probably, those groups could probably add a bit more value to each other and move on with the entire network that we deal with.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, so thank you, ma'am, for highlighting the metrics or indicators for the success of the Green Finance Initiative in the tourism sector. Yeah, so concluding the session as we are running out of time. So today's dialogue has illuminated how finance, governance, education, and community engagement can together pave the path forward a greener, fairer, and more resilient global economy. So on behalf of the organizing committee, I extend a warm thanks to all our esteemed panelists, Dr. Bilal Ahmed sir, Dr. Laeeq sir, Professor Dr. Isil ma'am, Dr. Viana ma'am, Dr. Volha for their insightful contribution. And definitely our participants had learned a lot of things from you. And definitely we will continue to invest our ideas that should empower people and protect our planet. So hand it to you, Malik sir.
Thank you very much for carrying the session. Good evening, everyone. As we conclude this insightful conference, I extend my heartfelt gratitude to all esteemed panelists who inspire us today towards a greener future. So, in the words of one lyric, the generation that destroys the environment, the generation that destroys the environment is not the generation that pays the price for it. So let us be the generation that restores it. Thank you all, and thank you all very much. So Akanksha, you are the host. You can now set up the recording. I'm really grateful to all of you for giving